what's so funny? I'll ask them later. It must be hilarious. It's all about the filter that you have. It's kind of like a vicious circle. So, I'm not saying that there's no grade 8s who are loud and immature. They're young. Some of them are very immature. But what happens is that this vicious circle starts. So something happens. Maybe you see something really immature that a grade 8 student does. I don't know. Some grade 8 student is like making armpit farts and everyone's laughing hysterically around them. And you're like, give me a break. That is really not funny, although it is kind of funny. I'm really immature though. So, but I don't know, think of something really immature that a grade 8 does, and you decide, oh my gosh, they think that's funny? That is so not funny. That's so immature. And now you make a decision. And your decision is something like, grade 8s are really immature. So now you've got this filter in your head. Grade 8s are really immature. So then you're walking down the hall and you see some grade 8 going like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the bathroom, and running down the hall, and you're like, there we go again. So immature. And then, it just reinforces it. See, they're even more immature. And then you see some kids saying, I'm late for class. Oh gosh, so immature. And then it gets to the point where the grade 8 can hardly do anything, and what your interpretation of it is, so immature. Because it's your filter. Everything that happens you see is immature. This is really apparent when it comes to teachers. Okay? I don't know, I'm kind of lucky. I think that when you have younger brothers, sisters, friends, and stuff, I think that the things people say about me are on the more positive side. I get that impression. I'm not trying to but I think most people are like, Mr. Wadgy's okay. He's a pretty good teacher or whatever. So when people walk, I know, not everyone, but I think some people at least say positive things. Because I notice that when grade 8s are sitting in my class, and I make some stupid joke on the first day, like about my rules, I call them Mr. Wadgy's big nose, because they're all the big nose, and you know what all the students do? They laugh. Now, I want you to picture another scenario. We're not going to say any names. I want you to picture a teacher, and I'm not picturing anyone in particular, although I know you will. I want you to picture a teacher in the school who does not have a positive reputation in the school. And I know what happens when grade 7s get their list of teachers, and then they show it to older brothers, sisters, friends, whatever. People are like, oh my gosh, you have, that person is this too, you're not going to let you stand, blah, 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 blah. So I just want to picture something for a second. Let's say that teacher said, in my class, I call the rules the big nose because those are the things that you don't do. And what do you think the grade 8s would do when he said that? Oh God, he's as bad as I heard. That's so stupid. Right? It's just a filter. I saw this happen to one of my colleagues up in Squamish. He was a pretty good guy. But I guess he, one time, I'm not going to grab nail it, but he leaned too close to a girl and his shoulder rubbed hers. And then the kids started saying oh, he's a pervert, and he's totally trying to, and then that guy couldn't do anything without people saying that he was being a creep, right? Someone would walk into class and he'd be like, oh, cool, you went to the Backstreet Boys concert last night? Oh my God, why are you staring at and the filter was that this guy was a creep. And that poor guy, he didn't know what to do. He was like, I accidentally brushed this girl's arm with my arm, and suddenly I've been labeled in the class as a pervert in school, and I don't know how to get this to stop. It's all a function of the filter you have. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. So if your mind isn't, oh thanks, awesome. Well, I'll forget. I was going to save it, but Tara is honor roll student. Way to go, Tara. If your mind is not even prepared to comprehend grade 8s being mature, you won't see it. I will assure you there are some grade 8s at our school who are very, very mature. Do you know Armando, who's in grade 9? Am I getting mixed up? Alejandro, sorry. You know Armando's brother, Alejandro, who's in grade 9? when that guy was in grade 8, I mean, he still is very mature, but when that guy was in grade 8, he was just as mature as most of the grade 10s, 11s, 12s. Like, it's really unbelievable how mature that guy was in grade 8. Is he the exception? Probably, but if your filter is all grade 8s are immature, you might not even be able to see just how mature that guy was when he was grade 8. Pretty amazing. I think that no matter how smart, people usually see what they're already looking for, that's all. If you want to, if your filter is that all Americans are loud, obnoxious people, then when you meet an American, chances are you'll interpret them as being loud and obnoxious. It'll just happen. You can't help but see it any other way. So 2 personal examples, I'll just do these quickly. One was when Simone was born. She was born like December 3rd. Well, it was just not like, it was December 3rd. And I took time off until the new year. So I didn't come back until January 4th, 5th. I had a month off. And for the first 6 weeks of her life, it didn't last long, but for 6 weeks, Simone slept really well. Like, she'd go to bed at about 7:30, and she'd wake up about 7 in the morning. She'd wake up during the night, but she was only waking up to feed, and I couldn't offer any assistance with that. So Zen just said to me, yeah, you just keep sleeping, and I'll get up and put her back to sleep. So I was getting like 12 hours of sleep a night. And when I came back to school, a lot of the kids started saying things to me like, oh, Mr. Wadgy, you're so tired. I'd be like, no, I'm not. Like, yeah, I mean, don't worry about it. But, I can tell you don't have any patience and you've been really angry with us a lot. I'm like, what? Why? Well, you're not getting any sleep. And they couldn't see it any other way. And I'd be like, no, I feel great. Like, I'm getting more sleep than ever. It's okay. I know it's hard with a new baby. And even though you're being impatient and stuff, don't worry about it. I'd be like, what? Like, they just couldn't see it any other way. The other one was Cody Ross. This is probably the last time I'll tell this story because I think you, the last group will probably remember Cody Ross. Do you remember Cody Ross?
Yeah.
Yeah, little skateboarder dude, right? Mm-hmm. So when he was in grade 8, I didn't teach him. But one time I was down to the cafeteria and the door flew open to the outside. Cody, it was pretty, impressive move, but he came kind of charging his skateboard, smashed it up in his hand, caught it, and then looked over his shoulder and was like, see you later, or something. And it was loud, and it was kind of obnoxious, and there were skateboarders involved. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do not want to ever teach that kid. Like, there was something about it, I don't know if it reminded me of some kid I taught in Squamish or something, but I was like, whoa, whatever it is about that guy, I don't want to teach him. And then I'd see him in the hallway sometimes, and maybe, I'd see him walking after the bell had rung down the hall, and I'd be like, yep. There goes that kid again, looks like trouble. And I remember once I asked a teacher, like, who is that boy over there? Do you teach him? And they said, yeah, it's Cody Ross. And I said, what's he like? He's okay, he's good. And I bet, what was that? It didn't sound too effusive. Saying like he's okay in teacher talk is kind of like he's terrible. So I really had it in my head that I'd hear on the announcement, Cody Ross to the office. Oh, typical. And then in grade 10, the terrible thing happened. Cody Ross was on my class list. And I was like, oh no. So I made a seating plan, and he sat right here. Because I know I'm not letting him get out of my way and everything. Mm-hmm. And on the first day, I don't know what happened, but he probably talked to the person beside him. And I was like, not in this class. In this class, you don't talk when I'm talking and all this stuff. And it took a couple of weeks, but then what I came to the realization was, Cody Ross was about the nicest kid in the class. He was like just a really, really nice guy. Even when I was being like so harsh with him the first couple of weeks, he would always at the end of the class say, thank you, he'd always say thank you, he'd always say goodbye, see you next class. And it was just I had this filter for Cody Ross for whatever reason, that he was trouble, and it took me a couple of weeks to see it any other way. If I didn't have the filter, I'm sure on the first day I would have seen, wow, I'm really lucky to teach this kid.